Okay, so if someone told me when I was young that there were all girls schools, I would basically pretend I was a girl and go to that all girls school. I know it sounds insane, but I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like, you gotta admit, that's like paradise. It's like heaven. There's a bunch of women and learning. You know what? It'll make more sense as I explain the story. But anyways, guys, today's story does get a little insane. So make sure before I do get into the story, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. And on top of that, did I mention that I am currently live right now on YouTube? So make sure you guys join the live stream on Baba Gaming, and on top of that, follow me on Instagram for more crazy updates, and also join the Discord server for also crazy updates. Other than that, let's get straight into this insane story. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to another insane story. So this story takes place back when I was in high school. I was in high school, and it was my grade 10 year. Now, in grade 10, I was a basic person, but at the same time, I was a little bit of an F-boy. If I had the opportunity to do the devil's tango, then I'm gonna take it. So I remember back when I was in high school, basically me and my friends one time were all hanging out and basically chilling at a mall together. We didn't go to the mall near our school because, well, it was a mall that was near our school, and sometimes our teacher would go there. We didn't really want to go pass through them. So I remember me and my friends, we ended up taking the bus to another mall, and this mall was huge. It was one of the biggest malls in all of Vancouver. I think it's like called Metrotown or something. Anyways, going on, I remember me and my friends, we went there and we were just walking around and stuff, and we started realizing something. There were a lot of girls at the mall, but they were all wearing the same outfit. I was confused at first, so I remember I kind of just like ignored it and shrugged it off. But then I realized when I went to the food court, there was a load, and I mean a whole bunch of girls wearing the same outfit from the same school. So I remember I was really curious, and I looked at my friend and I told him, bro, do you like realize how many girls are here right now wearing the same outfit? And then he said, yeah, I don't know. I think like they go to like a school, like a private school or something, bro. I don't know, man. And he basically shrugged it off. But me, I was still curious. So I remember as I was walking around the mall with my friends and basically going to like other stores and stuff, I ended up going to this store where it's basically like all like cool clothing and stuff. And when I went in there, I saw one of the girls with a uniform. She was alone, but she was like kind of like weird, I guess. And I walked up to her and I'm like, hey, just quick question. What school do you go to? And then she ended up saying some school name that I've never heard of. I was really curious. So I asked her once again, wait, so like where's the school at? And then she said where the school was at. And to be honest, I didn't even know there was a school there because it was really tiny. So I remember I basically kind of like started like asking questions about the school. And one thing I realized was that she was really shy. I asked her, I'm like, oh, like, sorry if I'm like bothering you. Like, I didn't know you were shy. And then she said, oh, no, it's fine. It's just, I don't really talk to, guys a lot because like I go to an all girls school. What is what I said? An all girls high school? My mind was blown knowing that there was such thing. Like, holy cow, dude, it's like heaven. So I remember I started asking more questions and more to the point where this girl felt intimidated. So I kind of walked away. When I went back to my friend group, I remember they asked me, yo, bro, like, where'd you go, man? Like, we lost you. And I told them, guys, we have a secret mission. We need to go visit the all-girls school. My friends looked at me all weird and they're like, dude, there's no such thing. And I looked at them again and I said, bro, there is one. Look at the uniforms. As all my friends started looking around, and reminder, there was like 5 of us in our friend group. So they all started looking around the food court, and they all started looking around the mall, and they started to realize that only girls were wearing that uniform. And that's when it clicked in their heads. Bubba, we need to go to this all-girls school. That's what I'm saying, is what I said afterwards. So I remember after we ended up leaving the mall, we all ended up going back to our houses, and basically we started calling each other over the phone in like a group call, discussing how in the world are we gonna do this? Because obviously we're all guys. So getting into an all-girls school was not gonna be easy. I remember I had a friend who was like, oh, well, I mean, I have a buddy that could drive us there. So that was transportation done. Now the real question was how are we gonna get in there? So what me and my friends decided was, as you know, we were discussing all this, my friend ended up saying, oh, well, like my mom has a bunch of like extra wigs that she doesn't need. We could just walk in. Dude, what? I'm not gonna lie. When we were in high school, we hit puberty. So, you know, a lot of us had beards and stuff. Me, I even had a little bit of a beard. Hell, I have a beard right now because of Movember. But going on, I remember all my friends said, bro, just shave. All of us shave. We look good. And like, we just go into this all girl school. Just wear like girly outfits. We were really questioning if this was a good idea, to be honest. But I mean, hey, why not try it? So I remember the next day at school, we all ended up basically getting together and we left halfway through lunch. We got our ride that was supposed to drive us all the way down there. And when we did, I remember we were all just basically getting all together as a group. And when we got there, we realized that this girls' school was really small and we stood out a lot. And also one thing we didn't realize was that we didn't have uniforms. Now this was really embarrassing. This was really, really weird. weird. But I remember my friend ended up parking the car kind of behind the school area. And me and my friends, we started putting on these wigs and basically started sprinting inside the school. When we sprinted inside, we basically had our heads really down and we tried to, you know, stayed away from teachers. Honestly, we stuck out like a sore thumb, so I'm surprised no one noticed us. But one thing I realized was that there was a change room. We went into the change rooms and we started to realize that one of the classes were already like into PE class and the girls left their clothing out. So I know it's creepy. And to this day, I always found it weird. But let's just say we had to wear some of their clothing. We stole their uniforms. We started putting them on and basically we started going undercover in this all-girls school. As we were walking around, I remember we were looking everywhere. We saw all the girls. We saw everything. And I remember I was just basically amazed of how many girls there were at the school. Like I could swear this building was super small, but there was at least more than like 1,000 girls in there. So me and my friends, we were really curious of what was going on and how this all-girls school worked. But then I remember out of nowhere, the bell rang. The hallways weren't being empty anymore. There were a bunch of girls when the bell rang coming out of their classrooms and taking over. Like there was nowhere to breathe. Like I swear every time I turned my head, I saw cherries, bro. Like I didn't know what to do. So I remember as I'm just looking around like crazy, I remember out of nowhere, a teacher comes up behind me and he puts her hand on my shoulder. I turn my head, I look up and she looks at me with a frightful face. She's like, huh? What are you doing here? Oh, shoot. She looked at me and then she started looking at all my friends that were beside me and she was so mad. She pulled out her phone and I'm not joking. Instead of like taking us to the office like a normal public school would, this teacher called the cops. This teacher straight up called the cops. And when the cops said like, oh, 911, what's your emergency? She straight up went, there are boys that just broke into the all-girls school premises. I'm gonna need them escorted right away. What? You called the cops on a bunch of teenagers entering an all-girls school? Like, to be fair, we did take their uniforms, but still, like, really? I remember I was panicking. All my friends were too. And I remember as well, like, there was a bunch of girls surrounding us, freaking out, thinking, oh my goodness, like, what are they doing? Why are they in our school? Oh my goodness, no way. Are those actually boys? Look at that guy's legs. We were all panicking. We didn't know what to do. But out of nowhere, I remember as all my friends looked at each other, and so did I, we decided to do the number one thing that any guy would do in this awesome situation. And that was run. We literally sprinted out the doors together and we drove as fast as we could out of that all-girls school. Luckily, the teacher didn't see our car or anything that we were in, so we got away safely. And I remember all my friends looked at each other saying, this was such a bad idea. And we started changing our outfits and basically going back to our normal clothing and went back to our school. When we went back to our school, I remember all my friends were like freaking out about how we just pulled that off and how we got away. But then as I looked around and went inside my next class, I'm not even joking when I said this, my teacher got a phone call from his daughter. And basically when he answered the phone, she was basically telling him how boys broke into her school. And yeah, let's just say my teacher was really mad and basically brought it up in front of the class as a class discussion of how dumb those guys were, not knowing that the guy that basically helped out to plan this out was literally in the same classroom. Now you guys are probably thinking, is there any devil's tango in the story? Well, I'm gonna be honest here. There is a time when I go back to that all-girls school, but that's a story for another day. Anyways, guys, that is basically it for today's story. Make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Seriously, it means a lot when you guys do. And on top of that, not to mention, follow me on Instagram. And like I said earlier, I am live as we speak right now. So if you guys want to watch me talking and telling more of these crazy stories live, just join the live stream right now on Bubba Gaming. Other than that, like I always say, fall for more embarrassing stories. Peace out, guys.
My name is Baba. I'm still on top of the world. Devils taking with your mother. Of course, let's go. Should I make it a story? Let's click record. Got that TikTok with 2 mil hit different with some more. She said she love me, she got. Should I exit for sure? I got 100K for my life's work.